hiring of one assistant coach who, oh, by the way, has a couple of sons who is on everybody's radar in the college ranks as well as in the NBA. Michael Porter Jr. is already projected as the #1 pick in the 2018 NBA draft. So why would he even consider staying longer than just 1 year in college? And so far, his choice is the University of Missouri. To get some answers and some insight on this young man, Joan Niesen, our good friend from Sports Illustrated, is back here on the Morning Run. Good morning, Joan. How are you?
Good, guys. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get to Porter and Mizzou, I want to go back to the Washington situation, which was the school where Michael Porter Sr. was an assistant to Lorenzo Romar, and then Michael Porter Jr. had committed to going to school there. With all that going on, the University of Washington still fired Romar, which then meant that their recruiting class, one of the tops in the country, would all be going away. Why did they make that decision?
I think we have to look at this season with Washington. They have, again, the presumptive #1 pick in this year's NBA draft in Markelle Fultz, and still didn't make the tournament, haven't made the tournament in more than 5 years. So I think if you're Washington, I do kind of understand. They look at their history and they say, okay, we had this year's equivalent of Michael Porter and we couldn't as a team get there. What makes us think that next year will be any different? So I do understand in principle, I suppose, that they feel like the rebuild needs to go further than just, the fact that they're getting these top recruits. But yeah, it's definitely, they fired Lorenzo Romar knowing that they were going to lose Michael Porter Jr. I mean, I think that was a foregone conclusion when Washington made that decision.